Now, every year, tens of thousands of children across the UK need a loving home. They need foster carers. Now, foster carers are vital. They provide comfort, stability to children and young adults as well, not just children who are unable to live with their families. There are many reasons that could be the case. And this month, Sefton Council has launched its hashtag Everyday Angel campaign, just to say thanks very much, and also to give the opportunity to other people who may be thinking about getting involved in this, because there's loads of myths. Oh, you can't do this and you can do that and you've got to have this job or that job. A lot of it is a load of rubbish. It's a myth. So we're going to debunk a few of those as we go through the morning. They're also urging local people just to think about becoming a foster carer. Councillor Mhairi Doyle, MBE, Sefton Council's Cabinet Member for Children's Services, and joins me now. Morning, Councillor. Thanks for being with us.
Hi.
There's a lot of myths in this, isn't there? You know, once we start getting into a conversation about fostering and foster carers, some people will automatically assume, well, I've got a full-time job, I'm not allowed to do that, or I'm a single parent, I'm not allowed to do that. I mean, a lot of these it's just rubbish. A lot of this.
Yeah, it is. We just want ordinary people. We want people from all sorts of different family situations, single people, couples, same-sex couples. Doesn't make any. We just want ordinary people. We want people that can give our children a positive feeling of being wanted and being loved. We all need to be loved.
Of course we do. And this is about real life, isn't it? This is about the real world that we live in, where we do have same-sex couples, we do have single parents, we do have people who work, maybe full-time jobs and or part-time jobs, or people who don't work. That's the real world. So it makes sense to foster children and young adults in this real world with real people.
Yeah. I mean, our children in Sefton deserve the best. And sometimes they get into situations which is not their fault. Families break down, things like this happen. But if we can place them in a loving home situation, whatever the circumstances of that home situation, and people can offer them a positive impact into their lives and help them grow. Our children are our future. We've got to look after them. And in Sefton, we really care about the children that we have in our care.
Do these campaigns work, Councillor? And the reason I ask is because we get involved with campaigns like this every year, and it's what we do. And we should get involved with campaigns like this. It's part of what we do here at Radio Merseyside, and have done and will do into the future. Do they work? Do people come forward after they hear interviews like this with you and with foster carers? Do they work?
Well, I hope they do, because I think what we're here for is to dispel some of the myths. There's a lot of rubbish talk, as you said in your intro, there's a lot of rubbish talked about fostering. Fostering is about looking after children, and the most important thing is to have, an abundance of love, and we all have that. We look at our first child when they're born and we think we're never going to be able to love somebody as much as we love that child. And then the second one comes along and the third one comes along and the love expands. And that's what our foster carers offer. They offer stability to children. They offer care. The important thing in it is they want to do it. We'll help them with training. They need to have a spare bedroom. And it's just, we have links and help for them. They will not be alone. We'll look after our foster carers as well as we'll look after the children. Well, from all our perspective, and I'm talking about community now, it is better for Sefton people to look after Sefton children, because it saves everybody a lot of stress. We don't want our children to be sent miles and miles away.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same for all of our councils in the region, I suppose, isn't it? You want the familiar, there's a lot to be said about surroundings and familiar surroundings as well. You feel comfy, but it's that starting out in life, isn't it? Whether you're a younger child or you're a young adult, maybe you're 13, 14, 15. They're the real formative years. If you can get that right, or certainly do your best to get that right, then moving forward, you stand a better chance. Because as you said, the children who will be with foster carers, these are the workers, these are the teachers, the nurses, the doctors, the business people of our future. These are people who are going to be running the country, in the next generation. So we have to look after them.
Of course. And we do look after our foster carers, They will get a social workers to help them. There's training for them. They'll be given a lot of advice and guidance. We have other experienced foster carers that will help them and mentor them and be there to ask them when the questions arise, because it's not easy being a parent, but it's so rewarding, and in some ways it's such a privilege to be able to offer this to other people.
I'm glad you mentioned that word rewarding and the other word a privilege to do that as well. I'm going to talk to Paul and to Christina, who are foster carers in your borough as well. And I'll ask them the question that I'm going to ask you now, just to get your answer on this from a council's point of view. If I decide to do this, if I say, do you know what, I've been lucky in my life, I'm fit and healthy, and I want to give something back, I would like to foster, and then a few months in, I go, I think I've made a terrible mistake. I feel really bad. I've made a terrible mistake. What can I do? Will the support be there to help you if that happens?
Of course it will. Of course it will. And nothing in life is. We don't know what's going to happen to us tomorrow. Never mind, 6 months down the line. But the support is there. You can talk about anything. It's not a dreadful thing if you decide it's not for you. At least you'll have tried. And I just think I have met a lot of our foster carers, and they are the most amazing group of people that they have so much love and compassionate hearts, and they just are so dedicated to what they're doing, And I must say, it's not always full-time foster care. We have children with disabilities that might need a bit of respite.
Yeah.
And you can do it for 2 or 3 days at a time,
Well, do you know what? I never knew that, counsellor. I never knew you could do that 2 or 3 days just to give another carer, a little break. Never knew. Well, there's another thing we didn't know, because we all assume we know about what goes on until somebody tells us. We don't know, do we?
Listen, we have foster carers that look after babies predominantly. We have foster carers that look after adolescents and young people. It's your wants and needs are taken into account. You're allowed to say, this is what I want to do.
Exactly.
It's not one size fits all.
Exactly. Well, wouldn't it be if it was one size fits all, counsellor, and we were all the same, what a boring world that would be. What a boring world to live in that would be. Listen, I'm going to leave it there, but can I just mention this to you? The campaign is called Everyday Angel, and I can pretty much guarantee to you, if you were to say to a foster carer, we think you're an everyday angel, they'll say, I don't really, I don't want that badge. I'm just cracking on. I'm cracking on.
They would laugh at you because they're not. They're just ordinary people with big hearts and who care.
Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. It's right. Councillor, I'm going to leave it there, but thank you very much for talking to us, and we're going to talk to Paul and Christine in a couple of minutes' time. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.